To pivot from family photography to this whole world of visibility, which is, like you say, it is interesting because you kind of followed the trend of marketing. Suddenly we're in this new world, and I really felt it. When I posted on Instagram in 2018, I'd just post one picture, I'd get like 50 likes and Bob's your uncle, we're done.
Yeah.
Whereas then I came back and I was like, yeah, like what's a reel? What is all this stuff?
Yeah.
And it just changed so quickly. And suddenly small business owners have to put themselves out there and tell their story. And it's almost quite aggressive to kind of have this camera looking right back at you and you have to sell yourself. You're not writing a blog article. This feels very vulnerable. And we've all got our own sort of hang-ups that we understand as photographers. You know, we could have a picture that we've taken of somebody and think, God, they look beautiful. And then they come in and be like, no, my chin is a bit funny in that one. And you're thinking, oh my God, I would never think that. I think you look gorgeous, but they have their thing. And that's okay. It's for them. You know, they have their thing. And we've all, like you say, we've all got our things. And nobody in 2018 is used to being filmed to talk about their business, but it is a demand of marketing for small business owners in 2025, and it was in 2023. So again, very savvy move on your part to help people with this, because as family photographers, you see the transformation is that you've got a parent who, and I'm sure you were the same, you know, people would book it because they want beautiful pictures of their kids, but then you ease them into the frame and suddenly they get these pictures and they see them for the first time and they think, you know, wow, I actually look pretty, and they feel almost shy to say it. Oh, I actually look quite good there. Oh, and you're like, yeah, of course, you know, and they need to be part of that story. But you've seen that transformation, particularly in women. You know that it's possible, and the power of good photography to really empower women. It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just going to say, just on your point there, whenever I was training family photographers, I used to always say, just make mum look good. Because if mum looks good, she's going to love the photo. She loves her kids, whatever they look like, really.
Yeah.
But really make sure that you flatter mum and make her look amazing and make her feel great. Then she's going to love the photos.
Yeah. And in their businesses, women are going to be particular about how they are presented, because you're putting yourself out there. If you're a service provider, particularly, and if it's a creative service, it's very vulnerable, as it is to be a photographer selling your service. And you could no longer lead with your product. You know, we used to put our photos on there and it didn't matter what we looked like.
Yeah.
It would just, you know, people would be like, you know, that's a beautiful photo. Can I book you? The end. Whereas now we have to go on and tell people what we do, and that's what's expected. So what would you advise if there's perhaps a mum out there listening who has a business or is thinking of starting a business, has seen reels and is on Instagram, obviously, but, you know, thus far they're just kind of watching everybody else and they are tentative, like they're nervous about putting themselves at the forefront of their business and getting visible? What advice would you give to get started?
Well, my best advice would be just to start. Like, courage loves action. And so many people sit there waiting for the confidence fairy to come and sprinkle the confidence dust on their head. And they're like, well, I'll do it when, you know, I'll do it when I've lost some weight, or when I feel a bit more confident, or when, and that's never going to happen. You know, we'll all say that. And then a year later, like, I never actually did it. So just taking those baby steps. And I always say, talk about the comfort zone. And I don't believe in like leaping so far out your comfort zone that you feel horrible, but just expanding it and doing that first brave thing. Like I said, it was like 2019 before I even posted a talking video. And I remember when I put it up on Instagram thinking, I thought the whole world was going to stop and look at it. You know, like the internet was going to crash and like, I'm going to start getting texts from friends going, who do you think you are? And then I'm like, nothing happened. It was fine. Actually, everyone's been really encouraging. Now I don't really think twice about it. So all of those little baby steps do get easier.